There are so many people, when it comes to the new year, have their resolution that this coming year I want to achieve 1, 2, 3. And one of their goals is to relocate to another country. People have different reasons. People have different goals. People have different objectives why they want to move from one country to another. I don't go to say that your reasons might not be strong enough, but what I want you to give you as a challenge is to ask you deep questions as to why you want to go to another country. What do you think you are going to attain in another country? By asking yourself those type of questions will help you to navigate, to create a blueprint, the different ways on how you'll be able to succeed once you arrive in that new country. That will be number one. Number two, when you are going to ask those questions that I want to go to another country, you need yourself to know what methodology, what pathways are you going to use to relocate from one country to another. That will be another important question to ask yourself. Because if you don't ask yourself that question, you might end up with just hypothetical that I want just to go to Canada, I just want to go to Europe, but there are no tangible ways. And you'll end up each year to say that my goal is to go to this particular country without just really having a particular tangible item why you want to go. If you say, this 2022, I wanted to be able to go to country A, then what methodology, what pathway are you going to use? Are you going to be as a visitor? Are you going to be a student? Are you going to get lotteries? What way are you going to use it? That will be something else to ask a deep question for yourself. And the other question you need to ask yourself is, what are the qualifications do I have to fit that pathway I'm going to choose? So if you say, I'm going through education, what level? Am I going to pay for myself as a self-financing student, or am I going to look for scholarships? What are the ways to go there? While you're asking those type of questions, the last bigger question is, how long am I going to stay in that particular country? Am I going to stay in that particular country just for a short time, or am I going to relocate and live in that particular country on a permanent basis? Why am I asking that question? Because that is a very good question, because it will determine the pathway. So if you really want to go to America and to become a permanent resident and possibly become a US citizen, sometimes going by a visit is not a good way if you have the qualification to go as a student. Or if you want to go to Canada, going as a visitor to Canada versus going as express entry direct, you have a master's degree in engineering, you meet the qualifications of applying and getting express entry. Why are you going to use the visiting while you qualify for the express entry? So you need to have the end game. Because the end game will be able to determine how properly you'll be able to go. Because the purpose, even for myself and for other people to tell you, is there are so many legal ways you can go to a country and do the adjustment or change from one visa type to another visa type. The purpose should not be coming, leaving your country to go to another country. For whatever reason you have, you go to that particular country and you will be in trouble. Legal trouble. You start being illegal. You start being upset. You get depressed because you cannot get a job, because you don't have work permit. So we try to warn you ahead of the time that if you think through all these kind of things, we'll be able to guide you in one way or another. I don't say that it will be a guarantee easy success, but it will be one of the things which will be able to help you to start your life in a very healthy way without being stressful in one way or another. I believe that makes sense up to that particular point. Okay. But the last thing before I finish, like on the New Year's resolution and especially relocating to another country, will be the overall process of understanding the timeline. What does the timeline mean? It means if you want to come as a student, what time should I apply? When should I go to start? How can you move from one visa to another visa? What are the benefits of that particular way? All those kind of things you have to put in a timeline. Because you might come to a country and stay there for 7 years. Man, you are still a student. You are moving from one school to another just to keep the status. It's okay. It's legal. But what was the purpose of coming here? That is why I want you for you to understand what will be these basics of those kind of things. Now I'm on my street where I live. So New Year's resolution, don't take it lightly just to mention that, oh, this is my year, I'm going to America, I'm going to Japan, I'm going to this country. You need to think through. It's not just you are coming to a country and it will be a slam dunk, easy, you are going to get millions of money, you are going to get this, that. No, it's not going to happen that way. You need also to focus on other things. You need to know, if I finish step 1, I'm going for step 2. There are things I did myself before I come. For me, when I say I'm going to America, from day 1, I knew I'm going to live here permanently. That was my goal from the beginning. Then I look, what are the pathways? I had the opportunity to come as a visitor. Some Americans invited me. They said they'll pay even the flight ticket. But I didn't want to come through visiting because for me, I saw it was not sustainable. Because I had other ways. I believe if I go through education, because I met the qualifications, I'll be strong to be able to move from one visa type to another visa type without any problem. So that's what I did. And from the first day I arrived, I started looking what will be the other way to extend my visa legally. So it means from when I was in the first scholarship, which was 10-month scholarship, I applied for 25 universities to get masters. So I was already ahead of the game. I believe there is no way I'm going to lose 25 opportunities. So you needed to have one game, one pathway, looking forward, the timeline, and how are you going to change from one visa type to another ahead of time. So just take those type of questions as ways to reflect yourself, as ways to consider yourself when you are looking forward to the New Year's resolution and how you are going to succeed if you go to abroad. We'll be so much happy to see a lot of immigrants, whatever in the countries they are going to succeed, because once you cross the country from one country to another, any of your behavior, your failures are the worst part and the bad image of your country and your continent. And the good things is the good image of your country and the continent. Whether you like it or not, you become ambassador of your country. Thank you so much. Happy New Year, everyone.